What's something that's always wrongly depicted in movies and TV shows? Over and out. It's a common issue that drives me nuts due to it being relevant to my job. I work in Coast Guard radio monitoring and communications with mariners. Over means, I am done speaking, and am now awaiting your response. An example is, sailing vessel sunny day, this is the Coast Guard, over. Out means, I have completed our conversation. There will be no further broadcasts from me. An example is, Roger that sunny day. You are not in distress. Coast Guard standing by on channel 16. Out. Over and out makes no freaking sense, yet it's in everything. Radio shows. Commercials. Cartoons. Movies. Books. Cars. Period movies are the worst. Oh, this movie takes place in 1953. Let's go find 100 vehicle owners with pristine 1953 cars and use them in the movie. In 1953 the majority of cars were not 53s and not all of them were clean and perfect. There were dented cars, dirty car, even old dented dirty cars. Don't even get me started on almost any racing movie. Outside of Death Race 2000 they're all garbage. Also anytime there's a car stunt that's supposed to be happening like during a car chase and you can see the marks on the road from the first 16 takes they did. The medieval era. Specifically their castles and foods. Peasants only really ate grey icky gruel in times of hardships. Otherwise a peasant's diet usually consisted of fish, cheese, milk, curds. A favorite dish for any class was pottage. A type of stew that usually had meat or vegetables. They also liked barley. As for their castles, most were not dark and dank like we think they are. Many were brightly decorated with beautiful colors. Wall murals and tapestries. High school social groups. As a high school teacher, I can assure you the jocks don't all wear leather jackets and stand in a circle and beat up the nerds. There's no specific rebellious group of kids smoking cigarettes in the bathroom, kids from all groups are vaping all of the time. The gay kids aren't picked on, many of them are very popular. There are kids who are dressed like goths that particular day, but aren't actually goths, they just felt like wearing goth clothes that Monday. Kids who play sports also are in math clubs and in band. Kids who love theater and drama can be cool. Nobody uses their locker anymore. Oh yeah, and high schoolers look like kids/teenagers. Not like 30-year-olds. I can't stand the way movies and TV depict high school, it's so inaccurate. Deaths, people get stabbed once and they fall immediately. Most often than not people get quite a beating before falling because of adrenaline. Bullets, high-caliber guns will not just make holes, they can rip entire sections of your limbs, torso, or head apart. Aiming, they always aim guns or bows like shit. Martial arts, most of the time, fights are way dirtier even if you know what you're doing. That's the difference between kata and MMA fighting. One is a choreography, the other is a real fight. Physics, goddammit, as a physicist it just hurts so much. Languages and culture. As somebody with an Arab background, it grinds my gears when I watch a show that features, supposedly, Arab and Arabic speakers unable to pronounce proper Arabic. Let alone the nuances of Arab and Muslim culture. My parents laughed at Beirut, 2018, when a camel caravan came walking through. We don't have camel caravans in Beirut. Hell, my mom speaks French as well and she finds the French in Hollywood movies to be poor. And God, do not ask the Chinese their opinion on how their language is handled on screen. Pretty obvious there are poor or fraudulent language and cultural agents in Hollywood. Archery. The one thing that always bothers me when I watch Lord of the Rings is watching Legolas shoot. Every time he releases an arrow, his string hand goes flying off to the side. That is known as plucking and it wildly fucks up your aim. Your hand should stay still when you release the string. It happens in lots of other fantasy/historical movies but it really sticks out to me in Lord of the Rings. Also, I don't know who decided that audiences need an audio cue when a bow is drawn, but I want to smack them. They always put in a creaking sound effect. Bows don't creak when they're drawn. If one does creak when drawn, that means that either the bow or the string is actively breaking and you should stop using it immediately. 1. There are no sudden outburst confessions in courtrooms based on the defense's investigation. A defense attorney is there to poke holes in the prosecuting attorney's case. They are not a second layer of police force there to find the real criminal. 2. Examining a witness is boring. Depositions were completed so the attorneys know the answers, they're usually reading off a pad with their questions ready. 3. You have to ask permission to approach the witness, to approach the jury, and to approach the judge. 4. Courtrooms are boring by design. They are highly controlled environments. Laboratory medicine. Blood cultures take at least 24 hours to come back unless the person is so septic the doctor would be able to tell from a regular exam. Modern hematology analyzers are amazing. If a patient has malaria, the machine is gonna light up with errors like a Vegas slot machine. Blood for emergency transfusion is always O negative, unless the patient is a man or is a woman being childbearing age. Historic typing is never trusted. Yes, House, I'm looking at you.